Well, good morning, good afternoon. So I am back again. We are going to talk about snake avoidance training again today. So I was live here on Friday, and I did a fairly short session about what sort of things snake avoidance involves. And I'm back again today just to more fill in a little bit more of the details. I've had a couple of people asking about details of what's going on. So just to start out with, again, if you would like to comment or ask questions, please do type them in. Or if you haven't actually joined us live or you're watching a recording, just send me a message. The fastest way to get me is on my phone, but I do eventually get back onto Facebook and check my messages. So let's just start out with a little scenario here. I'd like you to imagine that you are out bush somewhere. Pick a favourite spot of yours to imagine. Mine's got lots of trees in, lots of big rocks, possibly a watercourse, and my dogs are with me. And they are absolutely having a blast bounding around through the bush. It's a beautiful day because it's warmed up a little bit and everybody's having fun. And I'm just enjoying all the scenery and the birds that are in the bush. The flowers are starting to come out, so there's some little splashes of colour. And all of a sudden, one of my dogs comes racing over to me, joy in his face, and he rushes right up to me, stops in front of me, and throws his paws onto my thigh. I immediately call my other dog in, and I say, right, guys, I saw what direction you came from. We're not going to go down this way because I know, because you've told me, there's a snake down there. You've scented the snake, probably haven't even seen it, but we're going to just take a different path. So, disaster avoided. Because my dog knows that when he smells something like that or sees something like that, he is going to get the biggest party when he comes running back to me and tells me about it. So that is your absolute beautiful response to a snake avoidance training. Your dog is not afraid. Your dog gets away from that snake fast. Your snake probably hasn't even noticed the dog if the dog picked up on his scent. So he's still, fast asleep on his rock or whatever he's doing. And you have just gone a different direction. So in another scenario, that doesn't happen. The dog scents the snake. He's like, hey, what's that? And he wanders over and he sees the snake. He's like, oh, that's a prickly stick. Oh, it moved. I wonder what happens if I poke it. Now, most snakes in most of these situations will feel the ground move or hear the low frequency vibrations of your dogs moving through the bush, and they will hide. They're very good at slithering off without being noticed, but occasionally they can't get away fast enough. And if they're backed into a corner, their only choice is to make themselves big and huffy, make a lot of noise, which of course, snakes don't make a lot of noise unless you're in the United States and you've got rattlesnakes, which we don't have here in Australia. They will huff sometimes, but for a lot of dogs, that just makes it even more interesting. So this is the scenario where dogs do get bitten. The snake hasn't managed to get away fast enough. The dog runs over and goes, I'm going to poke that or bite it or whatever, and the snake has to bite. It's a matter of life and death for the snake. And unfortunately, because some of our snakes are venomous, it becomes a matter of life and death for your dog. Now, the scary thing here is often the dog will carry on for a bit and you don't realise that they've been bitten. The wound can be quite small. By the time you realise that something's direly wrong, your dog's very ill. And if you are out bush, you might have to go kilometres to get back to your car, and you might have to go quite a long ways to actually get to a vet's. So you've got a real emergency situation. So snake avoidance is about avoiding that situation altogether. It is the concept for training is very, very simple, but The training is very high level. So if this is something that you are interested in, it is a heck of a lot of fun if you enjoy training your dog. Um, I am definitely going to be running a pilot course next month where we're going to train our dogs. It's going to be very fun based. All of my training is fun based, and it's going to benefit other areas of your dog's learning as well. So one of the things that is part of this is having a very good recall. That's where you call your dog and they actually come back. So if you want to work on that, that's part of the course. The course is going to also include the basic stuff. You know, the training basics. You do not have to be a trained dog trainer to take this course. Absolutely, if you are one of those, if you are already training dogs for a living, you're welcome to talk to me, and I will see about getting you on the course as well, because I'm going to be looking at trying to bring other people on board for this style of training as well. But mainly, this is aimed at someone who's got dogs who likes playing with them. You're going to learn some better training skills, and you're going to have fun, and chances are, if you do encounter snakes in your travels, your dog is much, much, much more likely to be safe. You will also have less of a footprint out there in the environment. This training actually can be carried to other animals in the bush as well, if you want to. There's a bit of details to get into with that. Depends on what's making your dog interested or potentially making them interested. And conservation dogs are actually trained in a sort of similar way. There's some big differences as well, but there are actually dogs out there who are trained to find specific wild animals or their droppings so that conservationists can do research. So, you know, your I don't know, owl pellet dog will go and find the stuff that owls cough up every day, and the researcher will then analyze the DNA in the owl leftovers to find out what the owl has been eating. So there's all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff that dogs are trained to do. So this course for me is really a lot of fun dabbling in that sort of area, and I'm really looking forward to teaching in this area as well. So if anyone has any questions, please do type in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Otherwise, I'm guessing quite a few people are not on Facebook on this beautiful sunny Sunday before the weather moves in. Here in Perth, we're about to get hit with another little bit of stormy weather. So a Sunday afternoon, I suspect you're all out there enjoying things. So if you do catch this live as a recording, please get in touch. I have got a website at dogtraininghelp.com.au. Nothing about snake avoidance up there yet, but I am going to be keeping you posted here on social media land. And if you are really keen, drop me a message, get me on my mobile. It's probably the easiest, fastest way to get me, or shoot me an email. So yeah, I'm Mara from Dog Training Help. Hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit about snake avoidance, and hopefully if you're really keen, you can join me in my course that I will be running very soon. Pilot course coming up beginning of October. I've got some bookings to make for spaces and put some content up on the internet, but we will be getting there very, very soon. So hopefully I will see you then. Otherwise, have fun for your Sunday afternoon.